I think that we're all just a compilation of our experiences. I personally feel like we all learn and grow from all the things that we go through. And I'm going to talk about all the things that I learned and grew from one of my experiences, which is being with a serial cheater. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be with a serial cheater to learn these lessons or gain these insights. I'm simply speaking from my personal experience and what I went through. One of the things that being with a serial cheater definitely taught me is that intuition is real. Intuition is a real thing. Don't play with her, okay? Intuition knows me by name. Like, I'm a very extremely intuitive person. Like, women's intuition is definitely a thing. Although I do believe it can go beyond women, but I do think that we are more in tune. It's crazy looking back after everything that's been revealed, how many times my intuition actually spoke to me loud and clear, and I just didn't trust it or second guessed it. And that's something I definitely learned and grew from, because now I trust my intuition 100%. It's always been very, very in tune. I did actually upload a story time, I think it was maybe a year ago or so, where I shared an experience where I predicted something happening as a child. My mom was babysitting. This was way, way back in the day when she used to be a nanny for this family. And I told her pretty much every day for a month that the ceiling was going to cave in. This is me as a young child. Like, I think I was like maybe 5. And why on earth would a young child be saying that? But you know what? The ceiling did cave in. I was right. My intuition has always been there. As you get older, I think that the world and people and just the thoughts, internal thoughts in your head make you second guess these things and have a lot of self-doubt. But being with a serial cheater definitely taught me that my intuition is super strong and I can definitely trust it, and I do. Another thing that being with a serial cheater taught me is that it's not you, it's them. For me personally, I think this lesson was more in my face prevalent with a serial cheater as opposed to somebody who just cheated one time, let's say. Because when you experience infidelity, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's something that is very hard to explain. But if you know, you know. Like, if you've experienced it, then you know how it can absolutely destroy your self-esteem. I think that oftentimes with people who cheat, let's say one-off, or if you find out about a one-off time, you oftentimes will blame yourself, think about things that you could have done different. Was it me? Could I have been more, whatever, attractive, feminine, skinnier, all these thoughts that go through our minds, particularly as women. But being with somebody who consistently cheated the entire relationship, girl, that is not about you. Like, it literally has nothing to do with you. There's nothing you could have done differently. The person is just sick. Like, that is an issue all on them, and it's not something that you need to internalize. And that was something that, like I said, was more prevalent of a lesson with serial cheating as opposed to like a one-off cheating situation. People who are serial cheaters have very low self-esteem. They have very low self-respect, and they have very little respect for their relationship. And none of those things are something that you can personally change. Those are all things that they have to work on their own. Ooh, I love this contour. This is the Fenty Matchstick. I still really love this contour. I'm just doing a light beat today, guys. It's Friday night. Well, Friday evening. The sun is shining. We're still experiencing warm weather here in Toronto, so I'm just getting myself together for a little nightcap this evening. When I was younger, I think maybe I would have definitely absorbed some of that and, questioned myself, what I did wrong, what I could have improved. But no, not anymore. Not at this day and age. And definitely not after going through what I did. That was very glaringly obvious. Nothing to do with me. He was just a dick. The third thing that I learned being with a serial cheater is that people will use you. People will continue to use you until you put an end to it. And that to me was just wild because it's just the audacity. You know what I mean? After such a blatant disrespect, you would think that somebody would, I don't know. I personally would not be able to do that, After disrespecting somebody so much, I'd be too embarrassed. But he wasn't. There was no shame in his game. Asked to come back home. Asked if I would take him back. Asked if I would keep him as a business partner. Asked if he could still everything. And if I had been weak, which was what he was expecting, I'm sure, he would have continued to use me. As a matter of fact, he would have continued to use me to this day. And that definitely proved to me that despite how much somebody disrespects you or despite how much wrongdoing somebody, does to you, they'll literally continue to use you or try to until you are the one that puts a stop to it. Okay, this next one is probably going to be controversial, but again, it's my truth, okay? But being with a serial cheater taught me that forgiveness is not conducive to healing. I know. Now, this is controversial because we've been taught all our lives, especially if you were raised Christian or raised in a Christian society, which most of us were. We're taught to turn the other cheek. We're taught that forgiveness is next to godliness. We're taught, all that stuff. It's not true, y'all. At least it's not true for me. I don't know if it's just a remnant of patriarchy because most wrongdoers are men in power. So, it would make sense for society to teach women to forgive their abusers or their wrongdoers. But for me, it was definitely not necessary to my healing. I do not feel the need to have to forgive anyone. For my healing, I think that's more for them. I think it's just taught to us that we have to do that so they feel better about themselves. The wrongdoers feel better. I am not God, and forgiveness is not up to me. That's something you can take up with him, her, or them. What is conducive to healing is actually forgiving yourself, and that's not talked about. The focus is always on forgiving your transgressor, your abuser, your wrongdoer. It's never about forgiving yourself. I find very little dialogue surrounding that topic. And to be honest, that's what you have to do. At least that's what I had to do to even begin my healing process, was to forgive myself. Everybody talks about how hard it is to trust, again, after experiencing infidelity, but nobody talks about how you have to regain your own trust. You know what I mean? After letting yourself down, after ignoring your intuition, after allowing someone to manipulate and trick you into trusting them, you actually have to forgive yourself for that and learn how to trust yourself again. That's where the beginning of healing comes in, and that's where the beginning of my healing came in. But in terms of forgiving a man, absolutely not. Again, controversial. I understand that that's not true for everybody. I understand that many of you are Christians and you believe that forgiveness is integral part of your life's journey. And I believe that that's true for you. For whoever believes it, I'm just speaking my truth. And my truth is that leave them niggas in the dust. Like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you're dead to me. And it's a process, and it's difficult because you're going to experience a lot of outside noise. Believe me, people are going to tell you how stupid you are. People are going to tell you what they would have done if they were in your situation. And people are going to not want you to ever live that down. So you have to overcome all of that outside noise. And then there's also the internal noise, the internal dialogue of replaying previous events, replaying previous arguments, like, you know, those shower scenes, right? Like, I know I'm not the only one who has full-blown reconstructed arguments in the shower. Girl, it's so cathartic though. But you literally have to let all of that go. Ignore what everybody's saying, what they would do if they were in your situation, because at the end of the day, they're not. And forget about all of those arguments being replayed in the shower. Like, the arguments, the scenarios, they all went exactly as they were supposed to do. You have to just chalk it up to that and move on and forgive yourself. Something that getting rid of a serial cheater taught me is that your peace of mind is priceless. There is literally nothing worth the price of your peace of mind. And I know that people make light of heartbreak all the time and just get over it and, you know, all that stuff that they say to us as women. But at the end of the day, it's a very real emotion. As a matter of fact, I think it's the only emotion that really bonds us all together as humans, is grief / heartbreak, which is a form of grief. And there's no denying that it's a very real emotion. I mean, wars have been started in the name of heartbreak, you know, like, people have lost their lives in the name of heartbreak. So I personally don't think it's something to be downplayed. Heartbreak can manifest itself and affect people very differently. It can disrupt both your mental health as well as your physical health, and that's not something to play with. So it took getting rid of the serial cheater for me to realize how valuable my peace of mind was. Like, life just got better. Life just got better. My health got better. My hair got better. My skin cleared up. Like, life just got better physically, mentally, emotionally. Life just got better because I had my peace of mind back. All right, I'm just going to pop a wig on, so I think we can wrap this up. But I think that the last thing that being with a serial cheater, I guess, taught me is that divorce can actually be a beautiful thing. We're not taught that, we're not told that, and society doesn't want women to believe that. Believe me, I heard everything while I was going through mine. I'm not saying that the process is all rainbows and puppies. It's absolutely a difficult process to go through, but the end result can be a beautiful thing, is my point. At this stage of my healing and at this stage of my journey, nobody can actually make me feel embarrassed or ashamed of my divorce. It's a part of my story, a part of my journey. I'll always talk about it, and I'll always share the life lessons that it taught and left me with, because, like I said, we're all just a compilation of our experiences, and this is me. This is part of who Toni is. So hopefully you guys found this video interesting. If you have any other divorce or marriage or relationship topics that you want to chat about, let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.